Welcome to my craft room. Today thought I would kind of take the time, show you around my crafty space. It's not very big, but it's mine. It's all mine. It's the only pink room in the house. so boys don't really come in here very much, which is good. I thought I would kind of share why I'm on YouTube, how this came to be, how I started my channel. And yeah, it's hard to believe this has been a year in the making almost. I'm coming up to a year here soon. So anyway, we're gonna step out of this room. I'm going to turn the camera around. I'll start with my door because my son bought me a beautiful little gift for Mother's Day this year. So I'll share that and then we'll just kind of do a little walkthrough and I'll open up a few drawers, kind of show you what I have and yeah, share some stories. Okay, so we are in the hallway. Sorry if it's a little bit echoey, but I wanted to show you. This is what Evan gave me for Mother's Day this year. I don't know if you can read it or not. It says meeting in progress, and then this side says vacant. So depending on what the sign says, whether or not you can disturb me, I guess. I thought it was a pretty good idea or a nice gift, so appreciate that. Anyway, so we'll open up the door. Here is my crafty space. Love my light fixture. So this is the back wall. This is where I do all my filming and creating, but I'll get to that a little bit, farther along. Right now we'll start as you walk in. I have just a small shelving unit here. I keep, extra. I have 6x6 papers there. And then this is that bin that I talk about all the time that has the extra embellishments that I've stamped or die cut. I keep them quite organized, well, as much as I can anyway. So that's there. Pan over to my desk and I've got drawers. Most of this is IKEA, like everybody else's craft room seems to be IKEA. So it just makes sense. Anyway, drawers. A lot of that stuff is just things I need for my printer, just extra cartridges. Sorry, I've got paint at the bottom drawer here, and then paper, some old Stampin' Up magazines. What else do we have here? This is photo paper, ink, anything I need for filming, some extra ink back there also, and then my label maker, can't live without that, and this is discs for photos. We've had fires around here, so this is just quick and easy if I don't have the pictures on my phone anymore, or if I've taken them with digital cameras over the years. Like these are really old pictures that I've put onto disc. So that's there. And I just got this little thing at the dollar store. Nothing glamorous, and it just keeps my pictures easy to grab, and that's where I store that. Top drawer is, of course, my Stampin' Up catalog, and then just extra brochures and things that I want to remember for journaling, and if I want to put them in scrapbooking pages, and that's what's in there. And then I have, a couple of organizers, some notebooks, my extra Beauty of the Deep stamp set, calendar, and my printer is up here. So I have a step stool down there because I'm short and I have to step on that in order to feed the paper at the top of the printer. Yes, get that over and done with. I am short. I've got cards that I've made here, just extra, just things to be on display. And I also volunteer a lot. So I'm the treasurer for different things that I volunteer for, and I keep all that stuff down there. And then just extra, I have like a little cut-a-bug, and extra cutters and whatnot are down in that one. Nothing glamorous. So then I have other shelves way up here. We have very high ceilings in our house, so I try to utilize as much space as I can going up. So anything that I want hidden, put in baskets. I'll probably get a couple more. And then I have my display, some cards that I've gotten from Chelsea. Thank you. I used to make signs, so that's one of the signs that I had made. And then a couple of a couple of things that my kids have made for me, and souvenirs from our wedding. And then I'm going to pan over. There's my window, what I get to look at, and our lovely tractor. Yeah, that's... So anyway, this is my creating desk. This is where I create all my scrapbook pages. I film all here. Those are my lights. I don't have much. I'm just kind of starting my setup. I'm pretty happy with what I have so far. I like having my tools on display. These aren't items that I use a lot, but I made this pegboard. So, and then we've got more drawers here, and this unit I pull out when I am scrapbooking. And then when I'm not, I can just tuck it back in there. And then by the window, I forgot this. I have another Alex unit that I keep my Cricut on, and then drawers, just extra cutters, scoreboard, I can make envelopes, and just these are all extra tools and things like that. I try to label as much as I can. I've got glue gun. I don't know if anybody else had this, the Stitchits. It was old. It's very old. I don't use it anymore, but I haven't gotten rid of it yet. More tools in here, and then I've got all my vinyl. And then I've got all my punches. And yes, my knees crack when I bend down, so that's probably what you heard. All my punches are in here, and I have a bunch more that were on my bulletin board, or that is not what that's called. Pegboard, sorry. All my ink is there. I like things on display, so I've got all my shelves there. And then this is my favorite unit. So this is where I keep all my albums. And then I have pictures there. I have, these bins are future projects or projects that I'm working on currently or just finished. Same with there. I stack my projects that I'm working on currently or just finished. Then I have, those are idea books. I don't know if you recognize that purple binder, but that's like my sketch. All my sketches are in there that I've pulled out from magazines. There I have all my cardstock is there. More cardstock, or sorry, this is more pattern paper. This is all current Stampin' Up pattern paper that I want to use. Then I have a few 8.5 by 11 sheets. And then this is all retired Stampin' Up paper and more cardstock. And then in here I have even more cardstock. And what I've done, this is how I used to store my cardstock, and I would put all the embellishments and everything that went with this paper pack. So if all the embellishments went with this, or if it was Halloween, I put it all together. So I have more like that. This is, oh look, close to my heart. Anyway, summer, more, I have all the embellishments in there. So that's how I used to store. And I would love to work through this and use up more of my paper packs from years ago, but I have a bunch of stickers also in here, sticker packs that I pull out, try to use. More stickers. And so that's that. These 4 top drawers are all stamp sets. Some of them are current, some of them are retired. I keep them kind of in a category. So I have sentiments and labels, tabs. Oh, I should probably redo that. And flair. So these are all stamp sets that I currently use, and then more of the retired ones that I don't gravitate towards as often are kind of back here. Ones that I don't want to get rid of, you know, your basic alphabet. That's really handy to have. I'm not going to get rid of that one. So anyway, that's that drawer. And then this one is Christmas, winter, for him. And again, anything I don't use as often are kind of back there. And then more current ones. And then this one are flower, garden, spring, travel, and summer. So there's more. And of course, this is not all of them. I have stamp sets kind of all over the place, but this is where I try to store them. And then birthday, love, and then fall and Halloween are all in here. And if I ever grow out of this, which I probably will, I have, you know, I can move into this drawer instead. Right now, this is, I've got stencils right here, which I need to have a better system for. So if you guys have any suggestions for storing stencils, I'd love to hear it. Then I have all my Stampin' Dots and re-inkers, and I have extra ink and some retired colors. And then these are felts that I gotten over the years. I have not really used them very much. I don't even know if they still will work, but anyway, that's kind of all in there. And then next to that, I have embellishments. This is just the drawer of brads and chipboard, buttons. Oh, we used to use buttons. These are more chipboard kind of things that I don't use as often are in this drawer. But I do have all my twine, all my little twine and stuff. I like grabbing those. So that's in there, this little carry-on. Bottom drawer is, oh my goodness, full. This is everything. These are paper pumpkin and any kits that I've purchased. I used to do like a kit together every month, and so these are extra little goodie bags that I would kind of give away, and then these are extra kits or things that I want to make, or paper pumpkin cards and whatnot that, you know, I've started building, and they're in there. That's where I store all this. So this drawer is full. And this one are all retired old stamps, and some stamps that I still kind of go for, but I just store in here. Some of these are from Paper Pumpkin, some of these are Echo Park, and I like them. I like fitting. They fit better in here, I should say. And then I've got some old Close to My Heart. This is all my Christmas and winter, and so that's there. So then next to that, I have a rolling cart, and at the bottom is all my Close to My Heart stamp sets. And then here are stamps and dies that I want to start using. These are dies that I've used, they're embossing folders. Those are some new, some old embossing folders. And then on top of that, I've got all my die sets are here. Old and new. And then this is all my, you know, bling, all the little dots and extra add-ons. So that's all in there in the rolling cart. And sometimes I move the cart kind of closer to my die cutting machine, or It's kind of tucked away in the corner. And then another thing in the corner here, these are all the, sorry about that, these are all the, this is what I put on my work surface to make it look pretty. I tend to use the one that's on there the most, but these are extra. What else? Lots and lots of photo albums. I have some D-ring and I have post-bound. I tend to gravitate more towards the post-bound now. Those are like baby ones and first 2 years of the boys. Evan's favorite color was green. Aiden's favorite color was red. And then the blue ones are their baby albums. That's kind of how that went. And then these black ones are school. And then, of course, I've got trips and, you know, wedding album and just old stuff. And then I switched to black over the years. This system I have here, I like to, when I finish a page, these are all marked with years. So when I finish a page for 2020, because I used post-bound albums, I keep them all in here. Well, apparently I don't have any for 2020. Here's 2021. So I keep them all in here. And then once I have, you know, a lot made, or I have enough that I feel like I can put in the album, then I'll take them out of here and put them in. And then, you know, I've got 2022 that I've been slowly plugging away at. 2025, I think I have the most done because it's most current and I guess it's the most fun to do. I don't know. 2024, I've got quite a bit too done. So that's my system there. So again, this is where I do all my filming. It's not a huge space. I don't, like I said, I don't have a huge room, but it works for me. So we can go through, I guess, some of the drawers. Yeah, I have a very old sewing machine. That was, I think, one of my mom's first sewing machines she ever had. She sews a lot. That's where I get all my craftiness from. So that's a gift from her. So I'm pretty excited about that. So that's where that sits. I don't really sew much on my scrapbooking pages, but you know, once in a while I'll pull it out. But we'll go to this set of drawers here. Top drawer, I have anything to do with my Big Shot, so extra plates, and then washi tape that I only use washi tape really to hold my dies down. I have some like glitter tape and then Scotch tape here. That's about it that I have there. And next one is extra adhesive. So this is anything that I have a lot of. So I store a lot of adhesives. Of course, I think everybody has an abundance of adhesive. If you run out of adhesive, that's, you know, you can't craft anymore. So anyway, that's all in here. Next to that is all my ribbon. I have a lot of ribbon. I've collected a lot of ribbon over the years. I used to use ribbon on every single one of my layouts, and I don't tend to use it as much anymore, but it's still here. So I've never used this. I'm not sure why I have it. Anyway, I have extra little pieces if they're not a full roll. They kind of go in here. And next to that, or underneath that, is anything embossing, glitter, or I have, these are chalk. I don't remember, blending chalks. They used to be, oh man, we did a lot of blending. Instead of ink blending, you would do chalk blending. So I have lots of that. Those go down there. And the bottom, this is all sewing stuff. And the drawer is really loud. I'm not sure why. But anyway, this is anything to do with my sewing machine. Yep, if that gives you any indication on how old the sewing machine is, that is the manual. So anyway, very loud, noisy drawer. Sorry about that. So again, my old sewing machine, and up onto the desk. That's my Big Shot. And this is current projects, things that I'm currently working on. There you go. We have a little sneak peek of one of my next upcoming videos. I scrapbooking that cool picture right there. Anyway, yeah, extra stickers, anything that I have planned that are going to be future pages are all in here, or things that I'm kind of working on the side. So that's there. And of course, all my ink is here. I keep extra little scraps of paper all in here. I've got white, and then this is black, and then down here, this is anything sentiment related. So anything that I can put on a card, or, you know, grab it for a scrapbook page, are all there. I have all my ink daubers. Here I got this idea from Erin from Crafty Concepts from Erin. She keeps all of her foam mats in these little baggies. So thank you, Erin, for the idea. It's fantastic, works great. Then I have, like I said, this bank of drawers moves over to the side when I'm working. It's just on casters, easy to roll out. So this is everything that I use kind of on a regular basis. I've got my couple pairs of scissors, Wink of Stella's in here, all the odds and saws, tape, adhesive, and then distressing tools, and of course a gum eraser. This is, you know, gets rid of adhesive on pages. Awesome. Blending brushes. I have little ones here and bigger ones here. And down here I've got blocks, stamp positioner. I've got a foam mat underneath that, and then some silicone mats underneath that. Then we've got just my roll cutter. Gravitate towards that every day. And then of course all my stamping right, stamping blends. I've got some paint markers here. These are old Martha Stewart glitter markers, pencils, anything like that. And then the bottom drawer here is where I keep all my flip-flops. They are easy to grab. I have, I think, all the sizes, and some of these are even, you know, close to my heart. So that's what's in there. So we'll kind of pan back again, and there, that's that. So here we are. That's my craft room. I don't like to hang on to a lot of stuff. Well, I guess I do. I do, but I don't. Try to get it out of my space, make more room for more new stuff, right? That's kind of the plan. That's kind of what I think everybody does, in with the new, out with the old. So that's what I tend to do. Why am I here? I was going to tell you that. Okay, so a year ago, I guess it's been over a year now, I left my job. I left my job of 5 years. I decided I couldn't do it anymore. I had to just kind of move on. And so I spent the summer kind of reflecting. I had a great garden. I still have a pretty good garden, but I just spent the time kind of figuring things out. Did a lot of stuff for myself. And then I decided I was going to start, you know, spending more time in this room. I was going to scrapbook more. I was going to do, you know, more of the everyday instead of just the trips or, you know, small books or whatever. I was going to spend more time doing things that I wanted to do. So I started watching creators on YouTube, and the more people I watched, like Jama, Erin with Crafty Concepts with Erin, Chelsea, Julie, you know, and lots and lots of creators out there. They're doing amazing things. And so I thought, I could probably do this. I don't know. It's kind of a cool idea. Why, maybe I could get onto YouTube. And I kind of hemmed and hawed and talked to my husband about it, and not really serious. And I just said, okay, if I'm supposed to be doing this, let's see some signs. There's got to be some signs out there that'll kind of guide me. So anyway, I kind of considered starting with Stampin' Up and becoming a demonstrator, and so found Chelsea. So that was kind of the first, okay, I guess this is what I should be doing. And so, signed up, became a demonstrator for Stampin' Up, started ordering and playing around with the stuff. And then one day I was walking into Walmart. I was in Walmart and I said, okay, I guess give me another sign. If I'm supposed to be doing this on YouTube, if this is where I'm supposed to be, then show me a sign. And so I walked down an aisle, and right at the end in front of my face was a tripod that holds a camera or your phone or whatever. I just use my phone, and with a light. So on sale, big yellow sticker, clearance. So it was like, okay, I guess that's my sign. So I don't do this full time. Like I said, I do this part-time. I work part-time also. In the summers, I don't work as much, but I spend a lot more time outside. We live on an acreage, and I have a decent sized garden that I kind of typically tend to. I like getting my hands dirty, so hopefully my fingernails are not too dirty when I'm filming. What else? Yeah, so that was my sign. So I filmed my first video. It was terrible. It's not on here anymore. I erased it. And the ones to follow were not great, but I feel like I'm getting better. I feel like I am growing as a YouTuber. I still prefer voiceovers. If you're wondering why I always voiceover, I pause a lot when I talk, and to reflect and kind of think about what I'm going to say next. And when I try to film and work and craft at the same time, it doesn't always go so well. So I've realized I talk a lot with my hands, and if I'm talking, I'm not really creating. So that's why I voice over, and then I can kind of take the time and think about what I want to say and tell my story, because I love sharing the stories behind the photos. So that's kind of the highlight of being on YouTube also. And sort of, something for my kids and generations to follow, to look back and listen to the stories behind the photos and behind the layouts that I create, and kind of get that extra little story out of it, because not all of it goes in the journaling. Most of it goes in the journaling, but there are extra little details, and they get to hear my voice if I'm not here anymore for generations to come, because let's face it, anyway, that could happen. So I guess that's sort of my story. This is my craft room. That's my story, why I'm on YouTube. I hope my rambling wasn't too much. I tend to talk a lot. If you haven't noticed, my videos tend to be on the longer side. I try to trim them down, and that doesn't always work out so well. So we're just gonna leave them long. They're usually about 25 to 28 minutes. I try not to get past 28 mark. I don't think I've hit 30 minutes yet. I don't want to hit 30 minutes for a video. Watch this. This one will be 30 minutes. But I am really enjoying watching my channel grow. I'm really enjoying kind of getting to know everybody that comments. I love reading comments. So thank you guys, or thank you so much for commenting and liking and subscribing. Of course, that goes with it. I guess we'll see you in the next video. Keep telling those stories one page at a time. Thanks.